My name is Andrea, and I am Vice President of Dufresne Group. We are consulting engineers. We primarily work with municipalities on their utilities. Most of us are civil engineers. And so what that means is we help towns with their water, wastewater, stormwater, and road infrastructure. So as an example, we recently completed a project replacing water and sewer lines for a section of town. Most of the municipalities in Vermont have very old infrastructure, and so as the pipes age, they become less able to handle the flows that are flowing through them. So people may experience reduced water pressure, or they may have issues with their sewer either backing up, or there may be overflows of sewer. So in order to keep the system functioning properly, we assist municipalities with identifying projects and funding for those projects, and then completing the designs and permitting to actually construct those projects. So the end result of that, of our piece, we don't actually build it, we do the design so it can be built. So all of the documents that are associated with all of the work we do before it gets handed off to a contractor are in primarily two forms. This is a book on a project that's out to bid right now, and it's fairly thick. And it's called the contract documents. And this is the set of plans associated with it. So it tells a contractor everything that they need to know about constructing that piece of infrastructure so that it gets constructed as intended and meeting all of the regulations that apply to it. So that is, in a nutshell, what we do, but it's a very long process. And for bigger projects can take, a couple of years from the time that a municipality identifies they need to do a project to it actually being constructed. So that's mostly, the big picture of what I do. As vice president, I do a lot more of managing projects. So that means that I am kind of the in-between for the client, and I talk with the client a lot about their needs, and then I work with our staff here in the office, making sure that they have everything they need to complete designs, and then I will review the designs. So I have been working in this field, I graduated with my master's degree in 2005, so about 15 years now. I went to Linen Institute and graduated the class of 2000. And then I went to the University of Vermont and studied civil engineering and graduated in 2004. I then decided to continue study and went to the University of Washington in Seattle and got my master's degree in geotechnical engineering, which is a specialty within civil engineering, similar to structural engineering, which you might be more familiar with. And graduated in 2005, as I said, and then came back to Vermont, worked for a couple of years, and then decided I wanted another change of scenery and moved to Montana and worked for 7 years there. And that's where I got my professional engineering license. So engineers are held to a standard that a lot of the trades are. We have to have a professional license that the state regulates to make sure that we're completing our work to a standard that we have to take a series of tests to show that we have the educational background to meet that standard. Basically, the work that we do is very important to people's health and safety. And so if we don't know what we're doing, it can put people at risk. So we need to make sure that we're doing our job properly. It's very important that people have clean drinking water and that wastewater is properly disposed of. And that's primarily what we do. So that, I guess the name civil engineer, we're dealing with civil infrastructure. So that's what I do and how I got there. How did I know I wanted to be an engineer? I didn't really know. I enjoyed math and science. I enjoyed problem solving. That's a huge part of what we do, kind of thinking on our feet and being able to think of different options and ways to solve problems. That's a skill that we really look for in people that work with us. And so I enjoyed those things and knew that engineering would be a good fit for that. So I decided to give it a try and ended up liking it. It's enjoyable in that you have to kind of get creative and think about ways to solve problems that not everybody thinks the same way. And so if you think that you enjoy solving problems and enjoy math and science, engineering might be a good fit for you. I have a few things back here to kind of show you some of the tools we use. So this is a total station. So when we're going to design a project, we need to know what's there right now. So we need to know what the street looks like, where the manholes are, where the valve boxes are, what the elevation is of everything. So we go out into the field and we collect all that data with this total station and grade rod. This is a level. So sometimes we use a level to collect data. And then, of course, I have a tape measure here, but I'm pretty sure you all know what a tape measure looks like. This is actually a piece of water main. So some of the water main, during a certain period of time, water main was installed and it didn't have a cement lining in it. And the cement lining prevents what's called tuberculation from occurring. I have another piece of pipe here that has some tuberculation in it, but basically it gets really rusty inside and gets some rust growth on the inside of the pipe. And so over time, that can get so large that the water can't flow through the pipe as well as it's supposed to. So this was a project where we cleaned all of that out and they lined the water main with cement lining to prevent that from happening. So this is a piece of water pipe, just a section of it cut out. And of course our hard hat and vest, because when we're out there working around construction equipment, we need to be safe. So on a typical day, I might be, I guess no 2 days are exactly the same. I might be doing some field work, collecting data. I might be visiting a construction site and observing construction. That's a big part of what we do in the summer. So when it's construction season, we need to be in the field observing the construction work to make sure they are following these documents, the documents and plans. We do a lot of work outside in the summer. So if that's something you like, in addition to problem solving in math and science, that's another thing that might lead you to engineering. And yeah, I could be doing any variety of things. Design, we do a lot of report writing in the winter because that's part of the process, is identifying alternatives to solve those problems that we might be faced with when we're looking at a project. So that involves some research and report writing before we actually get to design and construction. I think that's pretty much the gist of what I do as a civil engineer. We use computer programs. We use AutoCAD to prepare these plans. We use some different programs to take our survey data and bring it into plans. So we do have some positions in our company that spend quite a bit of time on the computer and do design on the computer. But we're a fairly small firm, so a lot of people end up doing lots of different pieces of the project. So no 2 days are the same. If you're interested in civil engineering and all of that sounds like something you would be interested in, my first exposure to civil engineering was working for a contractor during the summer. And so I was in the field working with a contractor, seeing a road reconstruction project occur and helping that occur. And so it gave me a good perspective of the contractor's side of things. And that was a great experience as I developed through my engineering career. So getting out there and getting some real world experience on projects when you can is great. I've also had some people come to my office and shadow what I do every day so they can see what happens on my side, on the civil engineering side, on the design side versus the construction side. I think it's good to get out there and get exposed to it wherever you can. And I'm open to anybody that's interested coming and shadowing my career and seeing what I do, and I'm available for questions. You can contact Anna and she can forward your questions on to me. And yeah, I hope you all are really interested in civil engineering and hope to hear from you. Thanks.